All right, next inductee, Chris Wineberg. He will be presented by Coach Jim Schnurr, one of the outstanding coaches at UC. Jim, I don't remember the year, but I remember you winning the 400, I guess it was the 440 in the state and high school. I can still see you coming around that farm turn. 1990. 1990? Okay. What did I say, 1990? All right, anyway, congratulations and thank you.
Hey gosh, it's great to be here. I look around the room, there's so many people. Track and field, it's amazing. I think that when I look out there and I see the people that have come tonight, I'm so thankful to be in this group again and to see a lot of the young people that have really done something with their lives, really get out there and go after it. I feel great about all the high school kids that came up today and the coaches. I just think it's an amazing group. I want to say I read this bio, and I know I could tell right away that Bill Schneer had written it. It sounds just like the Bear Tracks. And I wanted to say, as I come up here tonight and I introduce Chris, I also want to introduce Bill Schneer. Bill Schneer also had something to do with Chris coming to UC, and was a big part of that, head coach of the program back at that time. And when I coached at UC, I had done the decathlon myself, and I had trained other places, and was able to train with a lot of people. And then when I had the opportunity to coach, it was amazing. We got to pick the people that we wanted to coach. We got to recruit the people we wanted, and it was really a neat thing. So I'd come to the track every day and looking forward to coaching these people because they were great people, great students, good students, and great runners. I think Chris is up there with with the best of them. I mean, I was just amazed every day I got to come and coach Chris. It was always fun. It was always interesting. Chris was a good pole vaulter. Pole vaulted 14.3, I think, in high school, as was says in the bio, but he actually ended up vaulting 17 foot and 3/4 inch, and he did that at the Texas Relays. And the bio doesn't state that he is the record holder at the Texas Relays in the pole vault, the decathlon pole vault, and it was an amazing pole vault. He was able to take things like no other athlete I had. He was able to take them further and further. And when we recruited Chris, he did not come in as a scholarship athlete, but then I think, as it says in the bio, the first year he got the most improved. He came in, he's a pretty good athlete, and the next year he was the most improved. And then again the next year he was the most improved. So Chris started becoming very good. The next year he was not only probably the most improved athlete, but he was the most valuable, has scored the most points for us, scoring points right and left. And what he had done, he had, through his career, his first few years, every event that he had in the decathlon, there were 10 events, and every one got better, and amazingly better. Not just okay, he went from 14 foot to 17 foot in the pole vault. I don't think he threw the shot in high school, and he threw 45 feet his senior year. The discus was the same way. He was able to place in conference meets in the javelin, in the high jump, in the long jump, and he participated on our mile relay team and ran, it says here he ran in the 48s as an open, but he would run 47 splits on the mile relay. And the thing that I really liked about Chris is that I could put him on that relay, and you knew that he was one person who was going to give it his all, and he was going to run until he was done. And just amazing time to be able to have somebody who can compete like that. As I said before, I think when I came to practice, we'd have a pole vault session, and we'd have a lot of people. We were doing drills and we were working things out, but Chris would lead the group. Chris would come down there, and he would get back as far as he could, and then he would bring speed down the pole vault runway. Amazing. He would get people up in practice just watching him. because he was competing to the utmost of his ability. And he would do that every day. And so again, I would come to practice, and we had some good decathletes at the time. I think Chris was the leader of that group. We have another one here who went to the nationals for us, Jimmy Mountain, somewhere around here. But Chris took this group, and with his training, he pulled people along with him. You know, if people were complaining about this and complaining about that, and I can understand that, because a lot of times I think a lot of people, you know, they get tired and they start complaining about things. Chris was never that way. He took it to the utmost. He got things done. He wanted to get something done every practice that we had, and that pulled our group, our team to you know, new heights. And I always did appreciate that. Chris, as a senior, he was able to, he made the national meet, and he went to the national meet, and here's one event that I think really says something about Chris. He has been known with his uncanny ability to produce his personal best in a decathlon. So I've seen Chris in decathlons where he would have like 7 personal bests in that decathlon. And I told him that wasn't normal, that wasn't natural. You know, my whole career, I think I might have maybe two personal bests in a decathlon, and then, you know, the rest were, you know, so-so or whatever. But Chris was able to pull that together. In the national meet, Chris went out, and it's one of the first things, something bad happened. And a lot of times bad things do happen in decathlons. And Chris, he went down the runway and he stepped way under, probably about 1.5 feet under. And he never used to do that. I've never seen him do it before. But the pole pulled him off the ground. He was actually pulled off the pole. The pole flung way up in the air. Chris did a reverse flip into the pit. And this was in the middle of the meet. And you know, pulled himself out of the pit and walked back and got his pole. And I asked him why he let go of the pole. He told me he didn't. He said it was ripped out of his hands, and then he showed me that he didn't have any calluses on his hand. The calluses were still on the pole. So he really ripped his hand off the pole. And you know, we were vaulting. He was vaulting at 16 foot. He needed to get that height. And to his credit, I think it's absolutely amazing. Most people would have walked away at that point. So Chris got back on the pole and went over 16 foot that day in a national meet, and that's one of the reasons why he became that All-American, was able to nail down that spot as an All-American. So Chris is more than just, you know, just a good athlete. He was more than somebody who just did, you know, 10 events real well and put them together. His training was amazing. He did everything. He didn't shortcut anything. Weights, did them every day. Like a champ, and the running every day. We used to do a workout on Fridays where we had this. It basically was just a 1,500 meter workout. It was 400s, 8 times 400s on a 3-minute cycle, and we're just trying to run the you know, the times that we want to run in the 1,500 meter. We want to do, it's a pace work really, because the decathletes have no idea about pace. They have absolutely zero idea about it. So on Fridays we work on pace a little bit, and when I got out there with Chris and Jimmy Mount and Ben Haber, all 3 guys went to the national meet, and they would all run this workout like their life depended on it. And you know, usually you have guys in their, you know, after the 3rd or 4th one, they start going the other way. You know, they start running like, you know, maybe 70, 70, 70, and then they go 72, 75, 78, and you know, Chris and Jimmy would start getting competitive at the end and start, you know, running like 68, 69, 68, 60, you know, and start going down to 67, 65. And they would really get after that work. And just showed the excitement that they had for just difficult workouts. And so as a coach, I always appreciated that. It was so fun working with these guys. And another thing I want to say about Chris is also written here is that, well, when I had a chance, when Chris was out of his competition phase, he helped us out still. He really wanted to stay close to the team, and he helped us out. And then I had the opportunity to to make him assistant coach with the program, and I was interested in somebody who could, do all those events, and had all the other skills to go along with it that Chris had. And Chris was an amazing coach. And then later, we had an opportunity to with his wife Mary, another Hall of Famer. We had the opportunity to train her. I was coaching. I wasn't training anybody. I was coaching Mary, and Chris would come out every day, and Chris would train Mary, and we called Chris Sonia for trying to create, basically the person that Mary wanted to beat. And Chris was out there every day, and Chris would warm up exactly the same as he did when he ran. He'd warm up the exact same way, very seriously. He was out there training and getting ready, and then every time we would run these hard workouts, he was leading them. He was pulling Mary around and leading her in every workout, and just shows you, the kind of love that he had for his wife, and how much he was willing to put out, and how much he's willing to do for the program. So I have some other stories about Chris I won't tell tonight, but I just I think it really is. He's really truly a Bearcat. The last award that we gave him was called the Bearcat Award, and I think we made that up because of Chris Wineberg. I think we made the Bearcat Award up. It's just it's an award that we give to somebody that basically does everything. Pulls people with them. Not only are they high point scorers, but they pull people with them, and they do all the right things. And I think that award is very appropriate for Chris Weinberg.
All right, thank you. I'm very humbled and just honored and grateful to be inducted into the Greater Cincinnati Running Hall of Fame. And when I think about it and I kind of just process this recognition, what really comes to mind is how blessed I've been to have so many people help me out along the way. Really gotten a lot of help. I've got an amazingly supportive family. They've helped me out so many ways, just along the road. And I think back, to when I was pole vaulting, started in the 7th and 8th grade, and my dad he'd pick me up a couple days a week and take me to practice because, the school didn't have a pit and I needed to improve on the event. Same kind of situation in high school. My school didn't have a pit, so the coach that I had, he actually contacted other schools within the district, and he negotiated that we could set up one of their pits at our facility, so I had a place to practice. Extremely grateful that I had the opportunity to walk onto the track team at the University of Cincinnati. And I was just hoping that I was good enough to compete at their level. I sat through cuts the first year, just kind of with my fingers crossed. Glad they kept me. I'm really blessed that the coaches that I had when I was at Cincinnati were two, great coaches, amazing people. Jim Schnur, my event coach, who, just announced me, and then Bill Schneer, who was the head coach of the program. Just to work with them every day was quite amazing. And I made tremendous improvements as an athlete, and really had the experience of a lifetime as a student athlete at the University of Cincinnati. And if that weren't enough, I met my wife while on the track team at UC, and then I got to go on this incredible roller coaster ride of when she was a good athlete to nationally ranked, to ranked in the world, and then actually an Olympic gold medalist. What an experience that I got to go along with. It was a lot of fun. My experience as a coach has been probably just as remarkable. I've seen my university be transformed into one of the most beautiful campuses in the world. It's really phenomenal. And the level of competitiveness at the University of Cincinnati has just kind of erupted to just a whole new level on the national scene. It's been amazing to be a part of that. I'm very thankful that I've had the chance to work with some wonderful people that were student athletes of mine, and some extraordinarily talented athletes that actually they put their trust, their confidence in me as their coach, and to see what they could accomplish, it just makes it all worthwhile. And when I look at how impactful track and field has been in my life, I really had no idea. I just started the sport for fun. I was kind of athletic, so figured I'd try to beat some people in some things, and to see how it's been such an integral part in so many phases of my life. I really appreciate that, and I thank you guys for sharing this moment with me tonight. Thanks so much.